I remember once upon a time there was a curse on all video game adaptations that they would never be good. I mean, and that's true, they all sucked. But Sonic came out and changed everyone's mind. The sequel's fantastic too. What about part three? Let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie review. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, now we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3, one of my most anticipated films of this year. I love the first two films. I thought they were fantastic. They threw the stereotype away that all video games adaptations are trash and they'll never be good. These films were like perfect to me. I think I gave the first two like a 9 or 9.5 out of 10. So again, I was really looking forward to this. This is being directed by Mr. Jeff Fowler. This is what the gentleman looks like right here. And if we scroll down and look at his filmography, he was responsible for the first two Sonic the Hedgehog films and also did Go for Broke in 2004. If y'all seen that, let me know. And also Over the Knuckles television series, which I did not see, but hey, he was attached to the first two, so how can they go wrong with him being attached to the third one as well? But I already said I was looking forward to this. So guys, before I get into all the nitty gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is all about. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails reunite against a powerful new adversary, Shadow, a mysterious villain with powers unlike anything they have faced before. With their abilities unmatched, Team Sonic must seek out an unlikely alliance. All right, guys, the first thing that I loved about this film is Shadow. I remember when it was announced that Keanu Reeves would be voicing the character of Shadow, I said this is perfect, and that ended up being true after you see the film. Shadow was perfect. The way he sounded by Keanu Reeves, and also the visuals and the way he showed all of his powers and abilities. When I first saw Shadow pop up on the scene and he do his action and he put everybody down, I was like, God damn, how are they gonna beat this guy? He is just too strong. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, all three of them teamed up against this guy and he got rid of them just like this. This presents a great challenge and I can't wait to see more. And what's great about this film is this is in the trailers, but they get rid of all those scenes at the very beginning of the movie. And so that gives you much more to look forward to. I'm like, whoa, all of this is in the trailer, but they just now have it in the first 5 or 10 minutes. Man, we're in for a ride. So Shadow was cold. He was a boss. And I loved everything about his character, up, down, left, right, in and out, all that good stuff. Another thing that I liked about this film is the rest of the characters too. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. They're never old to me. They always make me laugh. There's always great comedic timing and chemistry in between the characters, and they actually feel like a family, and I do care about them. There was never any moments where they got on my nerve or they irritated me or I felt like they was wasting time. Even though they're cracking jokes here and there, they're still able to get to the point through their dialogue even when the enemy is right in their face, and that makes it more entertaining too. And when it comes to the action, I mean, gosh, it's nonstop. Very, very entertaining. If you are a fan of the game and you want to see a lot of the same character traits, abilities, and moves that are in the game, in the film, you're going to see that and you're going to enjoy it. And it is visually appealing too. When Sonic is going super fast, weaving in and out of traffic or turning into a fur ball and turning into lightning and all the blue highlights and all that, it looks great. It looks fantastic. I mean, I just eat it all up. And that's only from an action standpoint as well. When it comes to the music, the score, the soundtrack, they even play some of the old music from the game. I remember that on Sega Genesis. They actually have that playing in this film. I don't remember hearing that in the first two movies, but it stood out in this third film while some character is playing it on the piano, so that was dope too. And you don't have to see the first two films to understand this one. It would help, you would appreciate things a lot more, but it's not necessary. If that's another concern you had, you can just throw that in the trash. And I'll also like the way that the world has accepted these Sonic the Hedgehog aliens. I mean, it is accepted, people know that they exist, and it's just a thing now, it's no big deal. And the way that they help out society was pretty cool and inventive too. Of course, this is a family fun film. Everybody can go see it, children and adults. And I won't say that it's geared towards children and adults, it's both. Whether you're a child or adults, you will enjoy this. And adults, you will have fun with this too. There are some jokes that you will get and have a nice laugh at. It's not, you know, don't think that like, oh my gosh, I have to sit through this film with my child and I'm gonna be bored out of my mind. That's not the case. I also enjoyed the life lessons that this film tries to teach the youth as well, of how life is about choices and also just overcoming your anger and not letting that control you. And there's a number of themes throughout this film that you can appreciate whether you're old or young. And again, I really did like that too. Now guys, those are the things that I really did like about the film. Now let me transition to some aspects that just really didn't work out for me. And one being the backstory of Shadow. I just didn't like it. It wasn't convincing to me. Other than Shadow looking cool and having nice powers and abilities, there just really wasn't anything to his backstory that I did appreciate. Now they did go in depth with it, but I just didn't like it. It was just kind of boring and bland to me and just really wasn't that effective. Also, other characters that he teamed up with in this film, like Dr. Robotnik, I thought that was extremely weak too. I do like Jim Carrey. I do like the character of Dr. Robotnik, and in the first two films, I thought his character was hilarious and he was funny at points in this film too, but there were moments to where he was just a bit too silly and too goofy. And you're probably saying to yourself, Brandon, wait a minute, that's exactly who his character was in the first two movies. Yes, it was, but it worked completely well in those first two movies, but not the case here. There were just a few moments where I was just like, you are wasting your time. I will say there was one scene to where one character was a mantis and the other one was a scorpion. Very, very stupid, idiotic. They should have cut that out the film. There was another scene to where Robotnik was dancing with a bunch of lasers. I did not like that either. They should have left that on the cutting room floor. Everything else in the film from Dr. Robotnik was funny. I ate it up. I enjoyed it. It was great. But those two scenes stood out right there to me in a bad way, and it brought the film down. So I was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing here? Can we please fast forward through this? I did not feel that way in the first two movies. But as far as the story is concerned with Dr. Robotnik and Shadow, their reason as to why they were trying to accomplish their goal was just really weak to me, especially coming from Shadow. I'm like, come on, guy. You need a better reason for this. I understand you're mad. I understand you're frustrated, but you're taking it out on the wrong people right now, and it's just really not working out for me. Another issue that I have with this film is the power scaling. There is an emerald crystal in this film that does help Sonic power up. I don't think that that was used to the best of its abilities, and it's really frustrating. Maybe I just don't understand the lore, but I shouldn't have to go do research or recap the video game to understand. Somebody that's never seen these films before or played the game should be able to come in fresh and make out everything, and if I can't do that, then I just think that's a big mistake. So I can only imagine that people not familiar with this franchise will have a difficult time with that. But overall, guys, this film is still fun. However, it is the weakest of the three. I enjoyed myself, and I think you will too, but the first two films for me was like a 9.5 out of 10. This one is much lower than that. Still enjoyable, still passing, but it's just not a great knockout home run that I wanted it to be. I will go ahead and give my rating for this at the very end, but for now, guys, that is just my opinion, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, if you did enjoy the film, whatever, leave a comment, subscribe, thumbs up, share the video, all that good stuff. I would really appreciate it. But if I had to rate Sonic the Hedgehog 3 out of a 1 out of 10, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. Yes, a 7 out of 10. Seems like I've been giving a lot of 7s lately, but hey, that's just how I feel. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery. That's just my opinion. Peace, and I'll see you next time.